tonight's big stories. Cebu officials are rallying behind Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco after the DOT found itself in hot water over the tourism campaign mess.
Vietnam has banned Hollywood's Barbie movie over a scene featuring China's contested 9-dash line. Will the Philippines follow suit?
And Pag-asa has declared the official start of the El Niño phenomenon in the country. How bad will it get? We'll get an update from Pag-asa later on in the show.
Welcome to the show. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Riza Diaz.
And I'm Sean Yao. All right, of course, the tourism saga continues to gain steam. And now, in today's episode, a group of Cebu public officials are throwing their support behind Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco amid the Love the Philippines fiasco. As we know, she is Cebuana, daughter of the governor.
Maybe not a lot of people know that, but yes. And in fact, also, she served as mayor of Diliman from 2016 to 2022.
That's like a two-term mayor. And also her husband, Duke Frasco, is the congressman of Cebu. So hindi naman nakakagulat that they support her.
So Cebuana through and through talaga.
Yeah. Alam mo naman mga Cebuano, di ba? They all band together. But what are some of the allegations that they're saying? The Cebuanos are saying that, maybe tinitira lang daw si Secretary Frasco ng mga detractors niya. Because bakit daw siya yung tinitira, hindi yung trabaho?
Oh, it's getting personal. Parang ganon.
That's what they
according to them.
Yeah.
I've seen too online, there were a lot of people naman that are working in the industry, of the advertising industry, that are showing support to DDB Philippines.
So it's really
at
love
this
your
point,
own.
we know has been terminated by DOT over this mess, of course.
All right, so going back to this manifesto of support, it was signed by congressmen, mayors, and councilors from Cebu, describing the tourism campaign controversy as a coordinated demolition job directed at the DOT leadership. The Cebu officials noted Frasco's statement that not a single centavo was spent in the production of this AVP. They believe that the goal of what they call a, quote, smear campaign is to sabotage Frasco's accomplishments. The Cebu officials added that the barrage of criticism on social media is aimed not at the DOT nor the ad agency, but at Secretary Cristina Frasco herself. They claim this was perhaps done to sway the trust and confidence of President Marcos on Frasco. Meanwhile, Congressman Joey Salceda, who had earlier slammed the use of stock footage in this AVP, says that criticizing openly as needed is his job as a legislator. But he did note that after heated discussions, lawmakers must remain focused on solving problems. Salceda also said that once the hullabaloo dies down, the government will still need to address other issues hounding the tourism sector. That said, Salceda says he will not join calls for Secretary Frasco to resign.
Now, senators have also weighed in on the whole stock footage controversy. Man Los Baños has the details. Man.
Yes, Riza, some senators support the Tourism Department's move to scrap its contract with DDB Philippines over the use of stock footage shot in other countries in the Love the Philippines campaign video. One of them is Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel, who says that the DOT should make sure that not a single cent was spent to pay for what he calls unprofessional work. Pimentel adds that moving forward, the DOT should scrutinize future contractors or service providers more carefully. Senator Bong Revilla, meanwhile, said that the DDB's AVP caused national disappointment and embarrassment, but he commended the Tourism Department for its action in holding the ad agency accountable. Riza?
Thank you, man.
And of course, social media jumped at the chance to make memes out of this whole issue. This might just be my favorite part of the whole issue. One user named Jack used the layout of Love the Philippines logo in this post, but instead of the DOT slogan, it reads, Leave the Philippines. His caption read, Minsan, love the Philippines, madalas, leave the Philippines. Actress Rufa May Quinto joined in with this photo of herself with the text, Go, 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 Philippines, also in the slogan's font. Go, go, go is one of the comedian's trademark lines. And blogger Sas Sasot, who is credited as the first to spot the use of stock footage in the campaign video, also shared photos of famous tourist spots from all over the world, adding in the text, "Love the Philippines." Meron dyan yung Colosseum sa Rome, Italy, pero yung caption niya, "Colosseum, Cubao, Quezon City." Here's another one, the famous Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil. Yung caption naman ni Sas dyan, EDSA, #Love the Philippines. Oh, this is a good one. Former Duterte spokesperson and legal advisor Sal Panelo posted a photo of the Universal Studios globe in Singapore and labeled it as MOA or Mall of Asia, and also a photo of Times Square in New York, labeling it as Eastwood.
Filipino creativity talaga. No? We will take any chance to poke fun at things.
I like the go, 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 Philippines.
Go, go, go. I tried to do justice to the line.
Right, you did very well. All right, this next one also has the public buzzing all over social media. Vietnam recently banned the yet-to-be-released Barbie film from domestic distribution over a scene featuring a map that depicted China's claims in the South China Sea. So what you're looking at right now is the specific scene that got the Barbie movie banned by the country's Film Evaluation Council. As you can see, it shows the highly contested 9-dash line, which Vietnam says violates its sovereignty. The 2016 UN arbitral ruling also invalidated Beijing's claims, if you remember. Now, Vietnam has in the past banned other American shows and films for the same reason. In 2019, the Vietnamese government pulled DreamWorks' animated film Abominable, and last year it banned Sony's action movie Uncharted. Netflix also removed an Australian spy drama called Pine Gap in 2021. The question now is whether this will also be banned in the country. Senator Francis Tolentino, for one, is urging the MTRCB to ban the upcoming Barbie movie from cinemas. Meanwhile, Senator Risa Ontiveros said there should be an explicit disclaimer about the matter prior to every screening of the movie. Along with this, netizens agreed with possibly banning the movie in the Philippines, while some expressed their disappointment over not being able to watch the highly anticipated film. But again, we don't know yet because the MTRCB is still reviewing the matter and they have not decided on whether to allow the release of the film here or not.
It actually was my first time to see where that 9-dash line appeared. Doon pala sa likod ni Barbie. Like very small, but can't it be used as a good jumping off point to educate people about the 9-dash line, what it means, and what Philippine sovereignty also means for Filipinos? Pwede naman, di ba?
That's one way of looking at it. But also, I guess there's also something to be said about a big Hollywood
Production
movie
right.
possibly endorsing something as contested as that.
And
So-
to think also that the market would be, children.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
to
also
educate them
true.
as early as
Yeah.
as young as they are, about something that might not be correct, is, it's debatable. So, what does the MTRCB have to say about whether to release the film or not next month? Let's bring in Camille Samonte to give us the details. Camille, go ahead.
Riza, the MTRCB is deciding if the upcoming blockbuster Barbie starring Margot Robbie as the titular doll will be allowed for commercial release in the Philippines. The agency released a statement that Barbie was reviewed on July 4 and an assigned committee on first review is deliberating the request of distributor Warner Brothers Incorporated to exhibit the film. The MTRCB said a copy of the committee's decision will be uploaded on their official website once available. In previous instances, the Philippines followed suit Vietnam in deciding to pull out other films which featured the 9-dash line. Riza?
Thank you, Camille.
Okay, guys, let's move on now to something a little bit more serious. Actually, this is a lot serious. Weather-related, of course. Pag-asa officially declaring the onset of El Niño here in the Philippines. At kung sa tingin ninyo ay mainit na sa mga lugar ninyo ngayon, nako, umpisa pa lang po yan. At the moment, what we are experiencing is a weak El Niño, but Pag-asa says that the dry spell is expected to intensify in the coming months. In some places, even a drought. Pag-asa is expecting over 30 locations, mainly in Luzon, to feel this dry spell by December. And these include Metro Manila, Northern and Central Luzon provinces, a majority of Calabarzon, and Mimaropa. Okay, so yan yung nakikita natin na list of provinces. So medyo marami. And of course, we would like to remind everyone, paulit-ulit na sinasabi ito ng Pag-asa, no? Kahit may El Nino, it doesn't mean na hindi tayo uulanin.
That's
dahil
true.
rainy season nga ngayon, may habagat. What we are prone to experience during periods of El Nino are extreme weather events.
Actually, there was a report from Pag-asa. They were actually saying there could be like heavier rains on a given time because that was brought about by the El Nino.
I think our favorite example for this is Ondoy, happened during an El Nino period, and we saw like a really out of this world level of bagyo.
Extreme weather events talaga are becoming the norm, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, and this one also becoming the norm. Unfortunately, our water supply situation also not looking good. The water level over at the Angat Dam continues to dip closer to the critical level of 180 meters. Earlier today, it was at 181.53 meters. The Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System, or MWSS, has been in talks with concerned agencies over this matter. If worst comes to worst, the MWSS says to expect hours-long water interruptions for some households.
Just in case magkaroon po tayo ng low rainfall sa ating watershed, ay magkakaroon po ng interruption dito sa ating mga areas ng Maynilad. Maynilad areas po, around 6 to 10 hours po na interruption. Nakafocus po kapag gabi, around 10 or madaling araw, kung saan po is yung demand ng water from our customers ay mababa.
Now let's get more details on what this El Nino means for us. We have on the line Pag-asa weather specialist Obet Badrina over Zoom. Obet, thanks for joining us tonight. Welcome to the big story. I just wanted, let's start off with some details, no? Like in terms of heat and temperature, exactly what should we expect in this with this onset of El Nino?
Yeah, actually, in general, no. So what we're expecting, it's more on its effect on the precipitation. Perhaps could be some general some slight effect on the temperature, but what we're looking at, particularly the effect of El Nino in the Philippines, is more on lower than the normal precipitation, particularly in areas in Visayas, Mindanao, and also some parts here in Luzon.
Alright, and given, Obet, na mababa nga yung ina-expect nating level of rainfall, kahit itong rainy season right now, and of course, nagbabadya rin itong water service interruptions dahil nga kulang na yung tubig sa Angat Dam. Ano yung options na meron para sa atin? Possible ba na mag-cloud seeding? And how bad will these dry spells or droughts be?
Ma'am, the possibility of some alternatives, like for example, possible like what you've mentioned about cloud seeding, that's always part of our options, But again, like what our officer in charge, Dr. Kayanan, mentioned during the press conference, what we as a citizen, what we can do is really help out, particularly in saving water, especially now. Actually, we're experiencing thunderstorms in the afternoon and the evening. Hopefully, it will allow us to limit the use of, let's say, maybe air conditioner. That would also help decrease the use of our energy. So all this, I would say, some initial steps, even small steps can go a long way. So I think those are some of the things that we can do.
Obet, in Indonesia, back in 2015, nakaranas sila ng mga wildfires. Are we expecting something like that na possible to happen, this El Nino?
Not really, ma'am, because again, we are on the wet season, or nasa rainy season ho tayo. So those possibility of a wildfire, medyo maliit yung chance. Kasi for example, yun yung kagandahan sa atin, we have generally mga forest natin, mga mossy, and kumbaga maraming moisture. So medyo maliit yung chance. Kasi for us to have a wildfire, kailangan tuyo muna, very dry yung ating mga forest, para yun yung pag nag-ignite, para tuloy-tuloy yung mga sunog or fire na mararanasan. So yun nga po, maganda po yung minention nyo, na we're still in the wet season, rainy season, and El Nino doesn't mean there will be no rain. What we're saying is there will be less rain. So magkaiba po yun, no? It's not no rain, it's more on less rain. And actually, it's also good that you mentioned about what we experienced during the time of 2010, 2009 or 2010 El Nino episode wherein we experienced the aftermath of the tropical cyclone Ondoy, no? Ang dynamics po kasi niyan, actually, during the time of El Nino, we have an enhanced southwesterly wind flow. Mahina po yung easterlies natin, yung nagbumulas, this is the wind coming from the Pacific Ocean, so it's less po or weaker. But the southwest monsoon, we're expecting it to be higher or stronger, no? That's why in the coming months, July, August, and September, we can experience possibly po above the normal po na rainfall, particularly in the western section of Luzon.
Well, wait, one last question, Reg, pasingit lang. Kanina nung press ko nyo, may sinabi kayong maglalabas kayo ng El Nino alerts or bulletin advisories. Can you explain ano yun? Every when you i-release yun? And para kanino tong mga abiso na ito?
Thank you po. Thank you, ma'am, for that, for mentioning that. Actually, we already released the El Nino advisory. That's advisory number 1. No? It's already published on our website, and we can see the information available. For example, as of now, I'm actually reading it right now. We already mentioned some areas experiencing dry condition. No? So hindi to forecast, but actually they already experienced, like Isabela and Tarlac already experienced dry condition, meaning it's 2 months of below average, no? Below average po na below normal condition po ng pag-ulan. While itong Apayao, Cagayan, and Kalinga, they already experiencing dry spell. Dry spell means 3 consecutive months na below the normal yung ating mga pag-ulan. When we say, kung gusto pa po natin quantify yan, that's around 20 to 60% na mas mababa kaysa sa normal, 21 to 60%. So yun po those are some of the information that we can get from our El Nino advisory na pinalabas po natin. So tama po kayo, ma'am, we have alert, we have advisory, monitoring. So yun po yung iba't ibang level po ng information. So now, we're issuing advisory because El Nino is currently happening. So yun po. El Nino is happening, particularly in the tropical Pacific. Ito po yung Eastern and Central Pacific. Kagaya po ng sinabi ng aming OIC, mas mainit na po yung karagatan doon.
Right.
So parating na po. So nararamdaman na rin natin slowly yung impact niya dito sa Pilipinas.
Well, it's always good to be prepared, Obet, pero he's hoping we don't see a lot of these extreme weather events in the second half of the year. Thanks so much for joining us, Pagasa Weather Specialist Obet Badrina.
We're going to pause for a quick break, but right after that, the Commission on Audit flagged several government agencies for discrepancies in a report. More on that when we return. Keep it here.
You're watching the big story here on One News. Now, the Commission on Audit has called the attention of the Office of the Vice President and the MMDA over its recent findings. Here's what we know. The Commission on Audit flagged the Office of the Vice President for immediately opening satellite offices across the country. In its 2002 report released June 29, state auditors noted OVP's purchase of semi-expandable equipment using funds from its officers. The OVP said for the items, though, reimbursement of the officials' personal cash bypassing procurement laws. Now, the receipts for these purchases worth over 668,000 pesos were reportedly only about 1 to 3 months after the purchase, raising questions on accountability over the property. But according to the Office of the Vice President, no trace of corruption was found in the utilization of funds, and the office also supposedly passed the audit.
And as for the MMDA, COA reported that the agency only finished 14 out of its 47 flood control projects. State auditors added that 4 projects under the same Metro Manila Flood Management Project Phase 1 program are ongoing, while 29 are still for implementation as of December 31, 2022. According to the COA, these projects were not completed due to the extension of deliveries, change in procurement specifications, and delays in procurement activities, among others. The MMDA has since responded to COA's report. Let's hear what they had to say.
Hindi ko naman po sinasabing walang fault ang MMDA. Pero meron po kasi ng mga factors din na beyond our control. Like kunyari po, yung pong pandemya, delay po sa procurement, yun po medyo masasabi namin na yun po ang kasalanan namin dahil hindi po namin na factor in yung election ban.
Authorities have now identified a person of interest in the sexual assault case in UP Diliman. Gio Robles has all the details. Gio, what do you have?
On Monday night, the Quezon City Police went back to the area in the UP Diliman campus where a female student was sexually assaulted on Saturday. From CP Garcia, the victim headed to a dark area along Ilanan Street where the suspect attacked her with a bladed weapon. But when other people started approaching the scene, the suspect immediately fled. This is when the victim was able to call for help. The guard who initially responded says there was an event in a nearby area, which is why no one immediately heard the victim's call for help.
Nakasilip lang talaga ng opportunity yun kasi tapos nung time na yun kasi yung dyan po sa building na yan merong event kaya medyo maingay. Kaya siguro nagsisigaw man, hindi siya masyadong narinig ng gwardiya sa dulo.
The police say they have now identified a person of interest.
Meron tayong mga tinitingnan na mga tao, it's just a matter of confirming ng kanilang identity. May mga nakita tayong mga pwedeng mapagkuhanan ng ebidensya like CCTVs at nakapag-interview na rin tayo ng mga guards sa posts. So matter of looking for the perpetrator.
Some students in UP Diliman meanwhile could not help but feel concerned over their safety following the incident.
Natatakot din po kasi po may mga classes po kami na hanggang 7 po ng gabi. So, worried din po kami sa safety.
Mas kinakailangan namin siguro lagi ng kasama kasi ang hirap din na mag-isa kang naglalakad.
But authorities say the incident was an isolated case and that students are safe inside the campus. UP has earlier said that it will heighten security inside Diliman. The victim is currently undergoing psychological debriefing. For News 5, Gio Robles, we are One News.
We have more stories for you after this quick break. Keep it here on One News.
Welcome back. You are still watching the big story here on One News.
Now, you guys might be wondering where Gretchen is, but of course, it's not to, make a chapuera Risa. We love Risa, but let me try and guess where she is right now. Hello, Gretch. Hello.
Hi, Sean, Regina, and Riza. Good evening from the beautiful mountains of Batanes. Ay, teka lang.
Totoo ba yan?
Parang daylight dito. Parang di ko yata kayo maloloko, ha?
Oo, parang mag-8:30 na dito sa Pilipinas. Isa lang time zone natin.
Well, it is 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. I am 6 time zones away, so let me do that again. Guatemala from the Alpine Mountains of Switzerland. And if you're wondering why my outfit is like this, it's because I'm actually in the middle of a bike ride, as today we started off with the 100% Women Challenge by Switzerland Tourism. So, girls, teka muna, bakasyon muna ka ng konti. Because what they're asking me to do is to bike all around Switzerland, starting off in the mountains of Grindelwald. That's right in the middle of the Alps. So this is actually where some of the scenes of Crash Landing on You were shot. And speaking of the Alps, we're just having our lunch in a carless mountain village called Wengen. And the Alps are right behind me, and on those photos, you see them. It's great weather here today. It's summertime, and hiking is very popular here, as well as mountain biking. But during winter, where I'm at, this is where the World Skiing Championships are held every year. For those who love to mountain bike, Sir Patrick Paes, shout out sa'yo. If you want to have a quiet, breathtaking ride and all the green in the world, you better come here. Pero masasabi ko lang, girls, no, nakikita niyo naman yung ganda sa aking likuran. Kayang-kaya rin naman natin yan sa Batanes, di ba? Magkamukha naman yung itsura. At kanina may nadaanan din kaming Honesty store, where inside the Honesty store, they were actually selling cheese and sausages and butter. But there, of course, there was no one there to sell. Kaya nga siya Honesty store. So, di ba? Kaya din natin yan sa Batanes.
Gretch.
And sabi ko nga, popular dito ang chocolates and cheese. That's why I'm having raclette.
Wow, sarap naman! Hihingi pa lang akong pasalubong, laderak naman dyan. Hindi, pero Gretch, naghang siya. Tease mo na, may mapapanood ba kaming Woman in Action episode na mula dyan?
Yes, please do. You will get to watch this whole Switzerland trip on Woman in Action. It will be part 1 and part 2. Lahat ng adventure namin dito. So itong mountain biking ko ngayon, this is just the first part of it. Yesterday, we went to the sites of Crash Landing on You. And in the coming days, I'll be paragliding.
Wow! Maybe you should do it live while you're paragliding.
Oh my God.
Kasi we want to be with you. We want to join you.
I want to join you for lunch.
Yung sa Crash Landing, yung girl doon, doon yung nagsimula.
Paraglided into...
Actually, baka dyan mo na ma-meet, Gretch.
Gretch ba?
Because you're right. The little town of Grindelwald has had a huge amount of tourists recently because of Crash Landing on You. So the question is, saan yung Captain Remo?
Yeah.
Teka, baka mapanood natin yan sa Woman in Action. Paragliding into...
That's the real challenge of this trip. It's not really the cycling. Cycling is so easy. But, looking for Captain Ree, that's a whole nother topic and another thing to talk about.
So, kamusta ang raclette? Masarap ba?
Napakasarap. Pero nasanay ako dito sa yung may melted cheese, 'di ba? Sa Singapore, doon ko na experience yan. Pero dito, it's just the first raclette that I've tried. I'm gonna do restaurant hopping and try all the raclettes. But this is a local dish here in Switzerland. Melted cheese, boiled potatoes, and pickles as well as vegetables. So, eto nga, diet tayo ng konti. At konting power lang so we can continue our mountain biking for the rest of the day.
Last one na. Aren't you cold, Gretch? I mean...
It's summer.
It's summer, but she's still up in the mountains. So, is it not cold there?
I am cold, but, for the sake of good videos and good photos, I wouldn't want to be in a jacket because cyclists are quite particular about that, about outfits. So, medyo tiis ganda lang tayo hanggang sa kaya natin.
You see how much she loves the viewers.
And looking good. Good luck and have fun there.
Yes.
Have fun. Thank you.
Ride safe, Gretch.
Oh, wait lang. I know you have a question. about the runway, the Switzerland runway. So kami, nung nag-land kami dun sa airport, hindi naman namin talaga nakita kasi 6 a.m. kami dumating. Di ba may ilaw-ilaw yon? So pero nagtanong ako dito ng Swiss. Tinanong ko, sabi ko, does this look like the Swiss runway to you? And she said, could be. So I'll investigate more on that.
All right. Okay, Gretch, enjoy your lunch kami. Pa-dinner pa lang. And that's it for the show tonight. We'll see you soon.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.
Thanks for tuning in and have a good night.